welcome back. It's a Money Monday edition of Liquid Lunch on NEWSMAX TV. I'm John TABACCO. We went from Veterans Day, and a patriotic artist, Scott Lebedo, was here joining us, talking about 22 veteran suicides every day. We went to the college campuses of America. Now we go international when we bring in Ali Cinar. He is the you are the president of the Turkish Heritage Organization, and a lot in the news with Turkey, with President Erdogan coming here to the U.S. to visit with Donald Trump. What does this mean for U.S.-Turkish relations?
I think it's an important meeting that President Trump and President Erdogan will meet on Wednesday to discuss the relationship between two NATO allies. Since there's a problem in Syria, so both NATO allies need to talk and solve some issues, but I think it will be a very productive meeting in order to solve the issues, especially fighting against terrorism.
Now, just so folks know where you're coming from, clearly there's a lot of polarization, not just in the United States, but in Turkey. There's a lot of opposition to Erdogan. Are you more closely allied with Erdogan or the opposition to Erdogan?
I am not. I mean, I'm a proud U.S. citizen with a Turkish descent. I have been here over 20 years, so I'm not pro-Erdogan or anti-Erdogan. I believe on Turkey-U.S. relationship. So we don't want United States push Turkey towards Russia and Iran. So as a Turkish American, we would like to see these two NATO allies work together.
So now, initially, the whole world went crazy when President Trump announced a troop pullout from northern Syria. They were saying this was going to allow Erdogan to come in and massacre the Kurds. It appears there's a ceasefire that, at least at this point, is by and large holding, although there's still some violence in Syria. We're hearing now that the United States is going to leave behind about 600 troops in Syria. What are the national security implications for the United States, and what does this mean for the Middle East?
So there is no solution without Turkey in Syria. So Turkey would like to work with the United States in order to defeat ISIS and other terrorist organizations. Turkey's problem starts with the border security, because there's a terrorist organization called YPG, which is linked to PKK. PKK is a terrorist organization for European Union, for Turkey, for United States. And these terrorist organizations are a big threat for Turkey. That's why Turkey has an operation in Syria in order to secure the borderline and also have the refugees sent back to Syria, because Turkey is hosting almost 4 million Syrian refugees right now, and 320,000 is Syrian Kurds. So for Turkey, it's very important to have the refugees go back to their country, work with the United States. So that's the objective that Erdogan and Trump will meet and discuss further.
There was a lot of backlash from Erdogan and Turkey after the decision by the House of Representatives to formally recognize the Armenian genocide. There have also been louder and louder bipartisan calls for sanctions on Turkey in light of what they're doing to the Kurds. Now, as somebody that's looking to further U.S.-Turkish relationships, it doesn't sound like either of those things is going to lead to better relations.
Right, there is a negative right now atmosphere at Congress because of the reputation in Turkey. But I would like to, make it clear that it's not Erdogan's problem. It's Turkey. Over 90% is agreed on serious operation in Turkey, so-called Armenian genocide, which Turkish Americans calls that. It's historians make the decision, not the politicians in the United States make a decision. So it's a very political debate, especially when we talk about the genocide issues. So unfortunately, some anti-Turkish groups are taking further steps to hurt the relationship between two NATO allies.
Do you think it's a wise decision by the U.S. to leave 500 or 600 troops there in Syria still?
I think, yes, United States should keep some U.S. troops in the region, because there's a big threat from Russia, big threat from Iran. I think Iran is the biggest danger in the region, but Turkey would like to work with United States more. U.S. is working right now with a terrorist organization called YPG, but definitely United States should stay in the region and work with a NATO ally.
Well, you heard it here first. Ali Cinar joins us. He's the president of the Turkish Heritage Organization. He's an American national. He's been here over 20 years, but his main focus is to make sure that there's a coalition between the two NATO allies, U.S. and Turkey. Hopefully we can make some progress on that. I want to thank you, Ali Cinar, for joining us. Thanks for coming down to Liquid Lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying with us for most of the 2 hours. We breezed right through hour 2, and after this, quick wrap-up, And then we do what we do every day, the WTF, What's the Facts, where Frank facts checks all the mistakes I made in today's show. Quick break, back at you right after this.